Good evening, everyone.
Howdo!
Hi to For Waiting, Simon, Tracy, Kate. Oh, buggery. Guess what? I muted it. So, right, I've done that now. So, I just forgot to mute it. So yeah. Reason why I forgot to mute it is I uploaded the fudge cake earlier on, and obviously I like to play it back and watch it before, Hiya, Simon, how are you?
Hello, lad.
So yeah, that is scheduled to be uploaded tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So that's 5 p.m. tea time. I mean, because I did a slight boo-boo last time, I thought I put it for 5 o'clock, but not realising I'd done it for 5 o'clock in the morning, but hey-ho. So yeah, so I've uploaded it, and it's scheduled to be published at 5 o'clock tomorrow tea time. So Kate said, oh, Aunt's welding. Hi, Aunt, how are you?
Hello, Anthony, lad.
So yeah,
I'll be in a minute.
Yeah. So that is the chocolate fudge cake that I made the other day. So that I'm having a bad hair day today. You'll have to excuse the mess. So yeah, I'm having a bit of a bad hair day. As you do sometimes. So yeah, Chris is sort of busy.
Huh?
Did you get that photo I sent? I was messing about. What? Hang on a minute.
Who's that?
Kate.
Oh. What's she done?
I don't know. You mean on Messenger? It says at least you've got it. It's Kate. You know that one that me and Bella were messing with Messenger yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
And she got that buzz cut haircut.
Yeah.
Kate's still the same one, yeah. So yeah. But we love that cake because we're both as nutty as each other. And I took a picture of one of them is like it's like a foot on a flip flop or something. We've even done that. So yeah, I mean, same as I say, me and Bella, because we're that bored, and we like to have a laugh and mess about with these things on on Messenger. If anything, it's just to cheer each other up. You know what I mean? Oh, I didn't know that one. So we were just messing with funny things. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, same as I say, me and Bella are as nutty as each other. So we were just having a bit of fun with these, with these things, and and try to cheer each other up, basically. So yeah, but yeah, we were laughing our socks off at them. We were. So, but hey ho, it's coming to something when you've got to get your kicks when you're doing chatting with your friends and putting funny faces up and whatever. So so yeah, same as I say, I'm having a bit of a bad hair day today. It's a case I've got grips in, I've got my headband on, and it's still not do as it's told. So I said to Chris, I says, oh, I'm not messing about with it. I'll just leave it as it is, I've got a lot of straggly bits, and you know, it's not very, you know. Anyway, same as I say, it's ready for washing. That's what it is, Kate. And when it needs washing, I can't do it with it. Simon says that at least you've got it. Yeah. You know, but hey, you know what us women are like. Wears hair, and you know, like it to look nice and whatnot. So, but hey, Kate's asked you a question. How did the hedgehog slice go down, Chris?
Oh, it was horrible. They'll not like it one bit, even though I've had 2 slices.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, Callum had some earlier on, and all you could hear Callum were going, when they were eating it. So yeah, it's hard to explain. It's like crunchy like a biscuit. I can't. How would you explain it? It's a bit like a biscuit bar, if you know what I mean. It's like the best way to explain it is it's like just like a biscuit bar covered in chocolate. Yeah. But I don't know. How long is it since I did mine? Is it 2 or 3 weeks? I don't know.
About 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks, yeah. So mine's sort of just settling down a bit now. So yeah. The best way to explain it is it's a bit like a biscuit bar. But I suppose, I mean, because you put digestives in it, so yeah. But anyway, I think you'd like it, Kate, because obviously it's got coconut in, but not everybody likes coconut. But
I didn't really taste coconut.
no, yeah, well, they're only like yeah, they're only a bit. It's not an important part of the recipe, but same as Chris says, you couldn't really taste the coconut. So but as you seen last night, it's easy enough to make, Kate. It's easy enough to make it. You know, you could whip some up and, you know, in next to no time. It's same as it's all right, I'm just thinking about what Jackie.
Johnny 5 is alive.
Hey, Johnny 5. Yeah. You know, Jack's 360. I forgot what the rest of her channel name is. You know how, like she was saying last night, that she was going to make it today. Oh, well, I'm just lazy. Well, anyway, Jackie messaged me today and she says, I've got some cream that needs using up. So a partner, we're going to make a cheesecake. So about tea time, I got this message. So she said that a partner had made this cheesecake, and you know, like last night I said there's an act where you put it in the freezer and it cuts the less, you know, the time down setting. So she said it put it in the freezer to set, fell asleep, 2 hours later went to go tap at freezer and it was like a brick. So basically she says, I'm impatient. I want to eat it now. So basically, she's having to wait for this cheesecake to defrost. So yeah. So I says to her, I said, mine's just buffering. So it's all right. I'm just trying to. Yeah. So anyway, so I says to her, I says, I'm Jad. She says, I wanted to eat it now. She says, but you know, I've got to wait for it to defrost. And I says, well, then that act is basically just a quick fix. If like I did last night, you know, I needed the chocolate to set. you know, not leaving it in freezer for 2 hours and falling asleep. So me and Chris were in hysterics laughing at it. So,
imagine it dropping it in, it just going thud.
you know, and I says, it's only meant to be like a quick fix. Like she wanted it to set quick, so she put it in freezer, but then he'd fell asleep and it were like a brick.
Forgot all about it.
Yeah, they forgot all about it, and she went to go it out at freezer and it were like a brick. So not to worry, eh?
It'll defrost eventually.
Yeah. And because I says to her, I says, that act, what I told you last night, is just a quick fix, not leave it in 2 hours. You know what I mean? I mean, I've got a cheesecake, what I made a blueberry cheesecake, but that were all finished and complete, and I just wrapped it in some cling film and bunged it in freezer. And then I made like this chocolate banana bread. And I knew we'd not eat everything, so I just wrapped that in cling film, and that's in freezer. But that where I told her last night, no, I'm going like this to Chris. I says, oh God, what am I going to do with pear on them? I says, it looks like I'm going to have to give them both. I'm going to have to give them both lessons. Okay, then. Amjad, I Adrian Mateo Jones.
No, Adrian.
So yeah, so we were laughing about that, you know. And I says, she sent Chris some pictures. She tried paella, tried to make paella once. First attempt, she got cooker on fire, so that went up in flames. And she says, the second attempt come out all right, looked nice, but tasted horrible. So she says it went in bin. And then she stood there with this takeaway bag, so it looked like she gave it up as a bad job and got a takeaway instead. So yeah, I says to her, I says, it looks like I'm going to have to give you both lessons. But anyway, same as I say, that were us laugh for today. You know, the cheesecake like a rock solid brick. So she says, when it comes to eating, like, you know, things like that, she says, I'm very impatient. She says, but I know if I tried eating some of that, she said it'd break my teeth. So yeah, so we've had a laugh about that. So I says to Chris, I says, well, surely to God, with this hedgehog slice, she can't go wrong, as long as you don't leave it in the freezer longer than 10 minutes. Don't go to Jackie, he'll lose your teeth. But yeah, so yeah, and I says, well, anyway, same as I say, you know, I'm hoping, she says, once they've eaten the cheesecake, she's got all the ingredients for this hedgehog slice, and she says she's gonna have a go at it. But hiya, Bella.
Hello, Bella, ding dong.
But anyway, same as I say, surely she can't. I says to Chris, surely she can't go wrong with that. It's as simple as, you know what I mean. All right, Bella, we're just laughing about Jackie. You know, partner made a cheesecake, and you know, a partner made this cheesecake. You know how we're on about the act last night. You know, if you want it to firm up or set more quickly, just bung it in freezer for 10 minutes. Well, he'd made this cheesecake, bunged it in freezer, fell asleep. 2 hours later, went to get it out, and it was like a brick. So, and I says, you know, at the end of the day, it's only supposed to be like a quick fix, not, you know, leave it in freezer for 2 hours. So basically, she were on impatiently waiting for it to defrost. Oh, but Amjad says, guess what? Earlier today, I said, okay, Google, find me a recipe for hedgehog slice. It says it recognised it, and it's the recipe you used. I was shocked.
Oh, I didn't go on with hedgehog poo then.
But I was researching like vegan recipes, so I've sent Bella a few today. So yeah, so I'll make the vegan lemon cheesecake. See how that goes down. If it does well, I'll probably make some more. So I've scheduled all my live streams and everything right up until next Tuesday now. So I've been on the board today. So yeah, so I've there's no change in my mind now about the soft peanut butter cookies. What I said I were. That's it, Bella. I mean, it's they were a vegan banana bread. I can't remind me, Bella. Let me have a look. See the message I sent you. Alexa didn't recognise the recipe. Boo. So yeah. Vegan blueberry cheesecake bars. Now that you're doing like a loaf tin. And obviously they're on about doing something Monday about the lockdown easing. I've no idea. Vegan banana bread. That were it. Vegan banana bread and vegan blueberry cheesecake bars. So I don't know. Some, as I say, there's been talk about like football restarting again. Like certain restaurants, but only opening, like KFC's reopened, but only for like deliveries and like McDonald's, they've sort of reopened again a bit, but only for like delivery orders, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, it's just a case of really waiting and seeing what he's got to say on Sunday, really. So I don't think they're going to be too too quick to ease the lockdown altogether. They're probably just going to put strategies in place, you know what I mean? But yeah, and I tend to agree. If they sort of ease the lockdown altogether, then I think there'll be a second spike in it. So I still think there ought to be a lockdown, but like certain measures. Hiya, Vanessa, how are you?
Hello, Vanessa.
So yeah, I mean, I yeah, there's got to be certain things in place. That scientist has walked out. I have no idea. I haven't been watching it, to be honest with you, Bella. So yeah, I mean, it's the photos already of quietness for the Burger King, etc. But you see, same as I say, I know McDonald's has started opening certain stores, but it's only like for delivery.
Where? Come on.
No.
Oh my God.
Oh. Yeah, he met his girlfriend. He shouldn't have done it. Oh. But are we talking about Boris Johnson here or this scientist? You know what I mean? Anyway, same as I say, but our That's the one, Kate. Yeah. Hiya, Joey. Hiya, Joe. How are you, Joey? So yeah, you know what I mean. It's you see, same as I said to Chris. I mean, this were all like before, just as Boris Johnson got diagnosed as he got the COVID-19. I says it's all right. I says, but I think half of them don't practice what they preach. To be quite honest with you. Hiya, Baz. How are you? So yeah. Hey. Yeah. You know, I think, yeah, but you see, the chief medical officer in Scotland, apparently it were like a second holiday home, and not she, you know, yeah, you can. First excuse could have been, well, I was just checking it were all right, blah blah blah, but she actually went there twice. You know what I mean? So, you know, once is a mistake, but twice is, you know, downright, yeah, downright stupid, as Chris has just said. You know what I mean? They're telling us all to stop indoors and, you know, only go out for essential shopping and only for medical supplies, blah, blah, blah. But half of them don't practice what they preach. You know, but that's only my opinion. But hey ho. You know, we all sort of, it all depends, Kate, how safe it is, let's just say. And what he's got to say on Sunday. I mean, because they were taught that they were going to open. But, you know, when this first started, gatherings of over a certain amount of people, and that's why they closed the schools. Because classes aren't exactly small, if you know what I mean. I said, telling me corner to be quiet as the neighbours are complaining.
Like it.
But yeah, you know what I mean. I think that's more dangerous, letting them go back too early, because you not aware of somebody that you might be in the same class with, what they've come into contact with. Vanessa says no Clorox to buy anywhere within. Oh yeah, I look. Well, this is it. I mean, how can they expect nursery kids to expect not coming into contact with one another and staying 2 minutes? It defeats object there, really. So before I forget, I seen a note. Well, it's on my phone. You know how there's this shortage of flour? Hey, Gordo's in.
Gordo.
Anyway, so I on Google, like I get notifications about top stories or whatever, and it says that Morrison's and Asda, because they buy their flour in bulk and there's a shortage of flour, it says they're going to be selling 1 kilogram bags of flour, and it says bread flour, yeah, the brown flour, self-raising and plain, for 60p for a bag of a 1 kilo bag. Now, it did say that if you so wanted, they'd sell you a bag, a 16 kilo bag like what I've got. But the kicker is, I bought that off of Amazon and it was $14.99. But it did say that they'd sell a 16-kilogram bag for £9. So you see here, Vanessa, you can't find self-raising flour. You can't any flour whatsoever, and it's because the supermarkets are staying open. There's been a big demand, like for the bread and all the baked goods and everything. So they're supplying the big supermarkets in bulk. So that's why, basically, there's a shortage of flour, because the demand is that much, that high for it, that they're having all on keeping pace with the supply in the supermarket chains and bakeries and things like that. So yeah, so it did say on this notification that the supermarkets that have in-store bakeries, e.g. Morrison's and Asda, are going to be selling these 1 kilo bags for 60p and a 16 kilo bag for £9. So but I did manage to get some plain flour off of Amazon, a 16-kilogram bag, but I paid $14.99 for it. Now there's a big difference in $14.99 and if Asda are selling it at £9, and I says to Chris, says, well, we're going shopping tomorrow. I says, if they have got any 16-kilo bags in, I says, I'm going to get a big self-raising for £9.
Get me to carry it.
And get Chris to carry it. But yeah, so same as I said to Chris, says, if they've got their bakeries well stocked up, then it's basically saying that because there's this shortage of flour and because people are in lockdown, they turn into baking. Homemade bread, homemade cakes, etc., etc. But a lot of people can't get the flour. So yeah. So I mean, same as I said to Chris, I says, I think it's a good idea for such as myself. I'm down to my last bag and a half, my last kilo bag and a half, a self-raising flour. Now, I bought the 16-kilogram bag of plain flour, so I'm all right for that. It's just self-raising that's getting a bit thin on ground, if you know what I mean. So if I can source some of that, I'll be well away. But I was going to have a crack at homemade bread, but the same as you, I still can't get the yeast. Gordo says, I've got plenty of flowers in the garden. Wait, hang on a minute, that's weeds. If this bird keeps getting out, I'm going to try parrot pie. I don't have a recipe for that, unfortunately, Simon. Yeah.
Parrot pie.
But anyway, same as I say, I'm hoping. Now I've seen that notification, it says the bigger stores that have got in-store bakeries, which the one that we go to has, that they are selling self-raising flour and I can source some tomorrow. So keep your fingers crossed for me. So
there you go.
There you go. So I'll be all right for a few weeks. Same as I said to Chris. If I can get a 16-kilogram bag, I'll have one. But if not, I'll just get a couple of kilogram bags. Amjad says his uncle went to the Turkish shop yesterday. He stayed in the car, and he says, my auntie wanted plain flour. My uncle bought out. Yeah, but if you think that's big, Amjad, you want to see that 16-kilogram bag that I've got?
Huge. Huge.
Now, I have seen on Amazon, they've got a big 16-kilogram of self-raising flour. And I says to Chris, if I can't find any anywhere else, I'll order it on Amazon. And Chris says, what, another big bag of plain flour? I'm going to have nowhere to put it. So, yes, so I've got a big 16 kilogram bag of plain flour. But same as I say, I'm getting a bit low on self-raising flour now. So that's the next thing. And the only other thing that I need really is golden caster sugar, because Chris tried to get some from our estate, and the only thing that they got was golden granulated sugar. Yeah, I've said that all along, Bella. I mean, how can the smaller businesses cope with being short when a lot of the bigger stores and whatever are struggling?
Big stores going into administration. Cole Brothers or something.
I forget now.
You said the other day, didn't you? The weed. One of the big stores are going into administration in Corona most of it.
I forgot. I've been to bed since then.
Sure you did.
But you see, same. It's like here in the UK as well, Vanessa. Like all the bars, the clubs, the pubs, and everything's been shut. They can't maintain it for a long, extended period because they're not making money. So the rent's still got to be paid. Their overheads have still got to be paid. The electric, the gas, blah, blah, blah. And the list goes on. So if it's a small concern, then they can't possibly maintain being closed, because in order to make money, they've got to be open, haven't they? So, I mean, I think a lot of the small businesses will go bust.
You had it already.
Virgin are looking for a handout. They charge me extra for paying my bill late. Oh, that don't surprise me, Bella. Okay. Skype's same if you pay it a little bit late.
Right, £25 charges for stupid like that.
Yeah, if it's just 1 day late, according to them, it's late, so they charge you for it. It's ridiculous. And same as I said to Chris, I says, this is what makes me laugh. Hi, Tina.
I don't say that.
Like, we hadn't got internet for 2 hours last Wednesday. Were it last Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But you sort of 1 day late at paying your bill and they charge you for it. Yet we were without internet 2 hours last week. So, same as I said to Chris, they've got to give you a bit of leeway, because Sky and Virgin, their service has been crap just lately. So, it's a case of, and then you're moaning that we're a day late at paying bill or whatever, and then you're charging us for the,
Best thing about it, she's not at home and she's not using it.
Well, that's it. That's it. It's ridiculous. And this is why Richard Branson's a millionaire.
Why is that? Me.
Yeah. So, you've got to, sorry for saying this, but, all we doing is lining his pockets. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we just line in Richard Branson's pocket. I wish we'd all got his own island in wherever it is. He's got his own island. Best thing to do, Tina, is just ignore them. You know, that's the only advice I can give you. Just ignore them. They'll soon get fed up of it if you're ignoring them. Do you get charged if you're late paying it? Well, you see, we don't, because ours comes out as a direct debit. But you see, with Bella, his planes are going down big. Well, you see, that's probably why they're charging you extra for paying it late, Bella, to keep his planes flying. But yeah, so oh, talk is £10 after all the cyber attack we had. They don't charge us no more. Oh, same as I say, we don't get that because on comes that direct debit when Chris gets his universal credits. So I mean, we don't have that problem because on comes out automatic anyway. But yeah, you know, it's ridiculous, you know, and they've got the audacity to charge people for being late with the payment. Huh? Kate says we flew to New York in July with Virgin and they had nothing for Harry to eat. That's ridiculous, that is. That's ridiculous. You know, I mean, it's like most airlines, like oh, police are involved. They've been warned to leave me alone. Huh? She says all the TV screens were dirty and they didn't provide a booster seat for him. But you see, this is the thing. Before anybody flies, you should know that who's on the passenger list and know that you've got a young child. And basically, like, let's say, for instance, that somebody on your flight had got a nut allergy, right? And they got served by someone that's been handling peanuts and whatever. Hi, Karate, how are you?
I know
that. Vanessa says, here's a story I'm reading about New York. Most new coronavirus hospitalizations of people who have been staying home. Oh, dear. But you see, that's not the point, Kate. I mean, you shouldn't have to take your own snacks. You've paid them for the privilege of flying on their aeroplane, so they should provide you what you've paid for, let's just say. Horseradish? Oh, dear me, that is it. But that's it. Well, this is it, Kate. I mean, you paying for the privilege of flying on their planes. They should provide you with even the basic things, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And knowing the passenger list, surely they should have been aware that there were 2 young children on board. So you would have thought that they'd have said to whoever it is that's catering for the flight, look, we've got 2 children on board. Can you make sure that there's something suitable for the children to eat? Bella says, I won't be going on a... So, yeah. Like it's same as you say, it's not that hard to make him, you know, any sort of plain sandwich, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, a bag of crisps, anything, you know, I mean, it's not going to cost earth or anything like that. You know, I'm sure Harry would have just been satisfied with just a plain sandwich. Well, when I mean plain, I don't mean a plain sandwich. I mean, you know, a simple sandwich and a bag of crisps. But you see, even I don't like pesto, Kate. You know, I've got to admit, I don't like pesto. So, you know, it wouldn't have hurt him to have just made him, same as you say, a simple ham sandwich or and a bag of crisps. You know, I'm sure Harry would have been satisfied with that. You know what I mean? That's another thing I don't like. I don't like horseradish either. I'm sorry, but you know, it's not hard. If yeah, you can understand it if they've got, like, let's say 10 kids on board under a certain age, but to only have 2 youngsters on board of that age, you know what I mean? Just to cater to one, or said to caterers beforehand, well, look, we've got a 2-year-old, just make a plain sandwich and a bag of crisps and a wafer or something. Exactly, Bella. But you know, it's at the end of the day, same as I say, it's ridiculous that you've got to provide your own snacks when you've paid for the privilege of going on the plane, and they can't even supply them with a simple sandwich and a bag of crisps. So so yeah, you know, I mean, it's an all money they making out of it. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's I mean, thing is, I mean, as soon as I got back, I'd a shot at email off to, you know, whoever it were concerned, and says, look, we caught X flight out of X place and flying to wherever you've flown to. Say, I had to provide my own snacks because the stuff that they were offering my 2-year-old son weren't suitable for him, and I had to provide my own. But yeah, I'd have definitely complained. That would have been the first thing I'd have done when I got back. You know, apart, same as you say, apart from that, everything else were fine. But the fact that you're having to provide your own snacks for your young child, it's ridiculous. But yeah, but what we're saying, Karate, is the fact that the flight weren't cheap in first place, and you're supposed to be provided snacks or whatever on the plane, and Kate has got a young child. The fact that they wanted him to eat pesto, stuff with pesto on an horseradish sauce, it's ridiculous. So you know, I think it's just excuses, to be honest with you, Kate. You know, it's they've had your money. You know, the kid couldn't give a monkey's uncle after they've had your money. You know what I mean? Oh, stuff's back. You know what I mean? It's a case of, right, we've had your money, you know, sod everything else. you know, what you're going to do. So, but yeah, that had a bit first thing I'd have done when I got back. I'd have complained. I'd have complained to them. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's been lovely and glorious today. Has anyone had to cancel any trips? We were supposed to be going to the lakes with Fred and I do know my lady was supposed to be going to Orlando, I think, in Florida, but she rebooked it for, I think, September, but then she's had to cancel it and rebook it, so she's going like next year now. Oh, $10 for 2 packets of crisps and a big one. That's ridiculous, that is. £40 for a pint of lager and a Coke? Go on, Bennett. See,
£100 just for a ride.
I was going to say. Remind me to never to go to America. It's too expensive.
Well, we could take some of this lemon drizzle on here. Share it out on plane.
See, same as, I mean, I'm just going back to what Tina says. She's worried about walking home tomorrow. Just focus on your kids. Ignore them. Take the notice of them. Just write everything down when you get in, what you've been called, what they've said to you. Report it back to police. That's the only way.
Record it on your phone.
Yeah, or even record it, same as Chris says. Plus, you can't buy much as they take it off you. Johnny says, how much? No way I'm going to Yorkshire Airlines, pork pie and peas, $2.99. Oh dear, yeah. Same as Bella says, airport prices are extortionate.
That's a big win for you, Bella.
Yeah. Okay then, Simon. Thank you for coming in.
Hello, Simon. Have a good one.
Oh, Gordo's having quiche, new potatoes and salad.
Well, we've had fish and chips, baked beans.
But you see, this is the thing. You know, you buy that, Kate, and then if it's not allowed on plane, they take it off you. So what's point? You know what I mean? But you know, there's that. She said she spell checked it.
Good old Google spell check. I use that a lot.
Yeah. Kate says flying from Heathrow was fine. They had everything, but coming home they had bugger all, and it was 8 p.m. So we had to get it for the. But you see, this is it. You know, it's ridiculous. That's a bit steep for school dinners. £10 a day.
£10 a day. What the serving caviar?
But yeah, I mean, like nowadays, like when Callum started this big school, I mean, obviously he's left now, but they do like not a jumble sale, but where people have donated the kids' old uniforms back to the school, and they buy, you know, you can buy them cheap or get in touch with your local council. You know what I mean? There's got to be some help out there, but I think £10 a day. Callum's is £2.75 a day. She's put, thank God Harry then fell asleep on the journey home and went into time warp, going forward 5 hours back to UK. Bella's put, what, £10 a day is she at school, Williams kids? This is what I'm saying, Bella. Callum's is £2.75 a day. And when they were at school, I mean, I think that was £2.75 as well. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I should be querying. I'd query that if they've quoted you £10 a day for a school dinner. That's ridiculous. Oh, I've just caught me thing. Yeah.
Who said £10 a day?
Tina. She says that her daughter's going to big school.
£10 a day. I think somebody's telling you Porky's there.
But yeah, I mean, if you're a single parent, you should get free school meals anyway. And with you being a single parent, you should get help with the uniform as well. So my advice to you would be get to your local council and get any help that's out there. You know what I mean? It's same as I say round here. If you're a one-parent family or if you're a parent that's living on benefits, you go to your local council, they'll help you with this school uniform, and you should get free school meals. So, yeah, there you go. Kate says, yeah, they help us with uniforms and school meals. There you go. I mean, even when Chris were working, we couldn't afford 10 quid a day for a school meal. You know what I mean? Yeah, Bella says maybe they mean £10 a week. But even that, Bella, if Tina's a single parent, a daughter should get free school meals. Plus some help towards the cost of a uniform as well. God, said I would expect the Queen to serve the meals at that price. I do, Kate. I do. It goes straight in my bank, actually. She says you should be getting the free school meals refunded weekly now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It cuts out this voucher thing or blah, blah, blah. It just goes straight into my bank.
50 quid a week extra.
Yeah. I wish. Oh, dear. We keep hoping, Kate, that when they put it in my bank, they put a few extra notes on end of it. So, mine was being sent out in vouchers because I got online. It's going on now. Parents pay its cost. But you see, I don't have none of that, Kate. It just goes directly into my bank and that's it. And I know where it's come from because it says Sheffield College. So basically mine, I think Tina lives in Watford, I think.
Yeah, I think that's where she is.
So anyway, same as I say, mine goes on weekly now, but it goes directly into my bank account. Before the lockdown started, I was in Asda. I was in the shower gel section choosing a shower gel. This random bloke pushes my trolley. I nearly got pushed. It was a fast push. He didn't say sorry. But you see, this is the thing. I mean, Chris will tell you, when we go to Asda and when I go in with him, I get like a disabled buggy. Now, you want to hear some tuts and whatever as I'm like driving about Asda, and it don't half get my goat up. And this, they just haven't got the manners that they were born with, and the tuts and there's many a time I've got into an argument with somebody that's you nearly run over me then, and I say, well, you should be watching where you're going then. You know what I mean? Chris just walks off because it does my nutting. I mean, I won't be able to, or I can't hold my tongue because they're so ignorant about it. I just let loose. I do.
I just laugh and walk off. Go on, girl, get
But yeah, Chris, you know, Chris knows I can fight my own battles, so he just walks off and you know, I'll leave it to it, you know.
But could say, hey, Missy Weir, she's got a right good rate up, you know.
But yeah, you know, there is so many ignorant people out there.
You know where most ignorant people go in? No offence. The older generation.
Yeah.
The older they say respect your elders.
You know, they either walk straight in front of you and then have the cheek to moan if you nearly run them over. You know what I mean? They can see me coming, yet they choose to walk straight out in front of you and then have the audacity to moan at me when you have to slam brakes on and nearly run them over. Oh, I don't, you know, it's, you know, I get them both barrels, I do.
Hey, there's one thing about.
He says I almost went off in Walmart. They are not. They are the arrows telling you which way to shop. And people wasn't. But you see, that's what they're doing in our Asda, which obviously is a part of Walmart. But it's not easy to follow instructions. You know, just follow arrows. You go up one, down another. Go up one, down another. You know, it's not science. It's easy enough to understand. You know, you go up, follow the arrow that way, go down that way.
Yeah, but you know what? The customers, they go up that aisle, but because they don't want to go down other aisle, they miss that and go down other aisle. So obviously they're clashing with people that's going up that aisle and they're going down that aisle.
But you see, the thing is, Amjad, I couldn't have held my tongue. I'd have said, "Oi, what do you think you're doing?"
Oh, something back.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'd have said, "Hey, what do you think you're playing? You know, who do you think you're talking to?"
Have you seen that gif where there's that bloke, that old granny? She's got a cane. She's in Asda or in some sort of superstore.
It get toilet paper.
Yeah, trying to get toilet paper, and this bloke with mobile phone shoves her out of the way.
Yeah, it were a handbag. It were a handbag, weren't it? Yeah. That'd be me. That'd be me. Chris will tell you that'd be me.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, but you see, same as I say, that is one thing. That is one thing that. But you see, I mean, you don't have to shout, Amjad. You know, there's all right standing there and not saying anything. But I mean, it's like this thing with me. The one thing that I don't like is ignorant people. You know what I mean? And then they have the cheek to walk in front of you and then have a go at me because I nearly run them over in one of these, you know, these buggies. You know, and all I say is, well, you should have looked where you were going in first place. You know what I mean? You know, there's no need to shout but if they start raising their voice, I'm sure as well as I'm going to raise my voice.
Oh, you said so. Sorry, can you speak up? I can't quite.
Yeah, exactly what Kate's just said. You know, there's no need to argue. There's no need to raise your voice. But if they start getting belligerent and they start shouting at you, then you give it to them back. You know, and I totally agree with what Kate's just said. You know, it can't come back on you then. And well, you started argument, blah blah. I say no, I didn't. Sorry, I was quite polite with you. I mean, you don't have to be, you know, you don't have to be nasty to them in any way, shape, or form. Just yeah. Exactly what Bella says. You don't have to fight Amjad, but you need to stand your ground with. Yeah, I totally agree with Bella there. You know what I mean? There's one thing in just taking it on chain or laying down on ground and letting them walk all over you. But if they know that you're going to stand your ground and you're going to, well, not let's say argue, but if you're going to say, well, look, you push the trolley, you know, you nearly pushed me over as well. Can you be more careful next time? Well, if they start on you, then it's on them, not you. But
either that or just whack them on and we lettuce.
But yeah, I mean that's one thing that I do know. I mean, I don't like arguing. I don't like fighting. I don't. But if they're so ignorant towards me, then I give as good as what I get. If that makes any sense, I give as good as what I get. I'm not just going to stand there and apologise to them for their mistake. I will point out their mistake and then I'll say, well, look, if you would have watched where you were going in first place, then I want to nearly run over you. So next time there's a lesson learnt there. Watch where you're walking. You know, there you go. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to fight. You just stand your ground and just don't let them walk all over you. So, you see what balance for.
I wouldn't start off, Chris.
These little blokes can be feisty buggers.
Oh, I don't want to be there, but I waffle.
But yeah, you know, I mean, I put a post up on Facebook. I mean, it's like manners cost nothing. You know, being empathetic to somebody costs nothing. You know what I mean? But there's being empathetic and having respect for people. And then there's like letting people walk all over you. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I will not stand for. I will, you know, I've had that before in my past marriage. I'm not going to go down that route again. Well, I'll tell you what I said to Chris earlier on in Coronation Street. Yasmin stabbed Jeff in neck with this bottle, right? And he woke up and he were making out it were all her fault, and he says she tried to kill me. I says to Chris, I says, you know, if that had been me, I'd have made sure I did job right in first place. I says he won't be breathing to tell coppers that story in first place. I mean, anybody that's been domestically abused knows what I'm talking about. You know, I've been in her shoes, and I says to Chris, you know, it makes you have a tough skin. And I says, hi Ian, how are you?
Oh, bad in the shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm saying Gordo. And I says, you know, I says, obviously she didn't do the job right. I says, because if that were me, I says, he won't still be breathing now. Yeah. But I think the storyline is going to go, they find that hidden camera and they're going to see that he came at her with a knife.
Don't put spoilers that.
So yeah, I'm not putting spoilers out. That's just my.
That's a spoiler because that's
No.
what happened.
Well, do I know? I don't know what's going to happen, do it? But I'm just assuming that that's what's going to happen. They're going to take her to court, and she's going to be thrown in prison for attempted murder, and then they're going to find that hidden camera.
So remember that hidden camera. Out she goes.
So if that does happen, you heard it here first. Yeah. That's basically what I said, Bella. I says, it wouldn't have got this far. I says, because I'd have bobbed him off months ago. Yeah, it basically put a hidden camera in the living room so he could watch every move she makes. So see you later, Tina.
See you, Tina.
So yeah, he put this hidden camera so we can keep tabs on her, and that because before she stabbed him, she'd been putting like clothes in this hidden suitcase in this cupboard and locking it. Well, he were watching through this camera on his phone, and he seen her putting these clothes in this suitcase. So basically, he goes home. He has to open this cupboard up, and he does no more. He goes out into the garden and burns all these clothes in this thing just so she couldn't leave him. So yeah, but yeah, I've been in her shoes a long time ago, you know. So you know, I know what she's had to endure, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? See you later, Tina. Gordo says, I was walking the dog earlier. Ronnie is dog aggressive, hence why I keep him on a lead. This woman had this white fluffy thing that was bothering every dog in the park I spotted. So put him on in a sit. And did he sit? Then she makes sex on legs. Yeah, right.
Yeah, read it all.
I'm still looking for him. But yeah, I mean, anybody that's been in an abusive relationship knows what it's like to be in her position. You know what I mean? But he says I wasn't in that park.
I bet it was.
Johnny put that.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But anyway, you know, less about that sort of subject, the better. He spots the dog, goes loopy. What do you think the daft cow done? She let her dog off. Oh dear.
That's a good idea.
I didn't used to watch Brookside Kate.
Oh, crap.
Death by licking, eh, Bella? She says, yeah, I've got to register test with a dangerous dog act.
No, death by pork pie.
She'll lick you to death. Richard, I love the way they go to the toilet through the door in the Rovers. They must all be having pee in Ken's back room.
Well, I sit on sofa in his house.
Yeah. But it's right. I mean, when you go through them doors, you're supposed to go to toilets. Well, Ken lives next door. But yeah, it's true. Same as I say, it's you know, it's you know, but they have to do these storylines, don't they? You know, because it's part of real life. I mean, it's like rape storylines and murderers and things like that. They have to do them sort of storylines because it's real life, if you know what I mean. And like, you know, casting deaf people, casting lesbians, casting disabled people, like they've cast a Down syndrome lad in Coronation Street. It's keeping up with, well, when I say real life, if you know what I mean.
Never been real life in
Yeah, we know it's not real life, but I mean, in real life, you know, there's Down syndrome people, you know, there's disabled people.
Storylines that come up with, just like unbelievable.
You know, and it's got like in the storylines in Soapland, everything can't be hunky dory, and you know what I mean. You know, they've got to sort of throw storylines in that's true to life, if you get me meaning, you know what I mean. It's called photography bush style. but yeah, you know, it's you know, like, let's say for instance, they've cast a goth girl in Coronation Street. There's a storyline at the moment where a lad's in order to keep this lad happy that she likes, you know, we got her to strip off on camera. It's true, it can happen, you know what I mean. And it's just, you know, and then unbeknown to them, somebody shared them pictures. So, you know, it is like true to real life. Well, some storylines anyway, let's just say. Of course, I've got a dribbling nose now.
Dribbling news.
Callum's late at coming now.
We're going to go and do long exposure on the TV power buttons for a bit late now. There'll be no top ruin.
Yeah, we all know why you want to go out in dark.
I'm going to take my car and go dogging.
Yeah, that's more to truth than going out with his camera.
Yeah.
To do long exposures. I know what long exposures he's talking about.
Big dog.
And it's nothing to do with the camera.
I've got my shot.
It's a good job he can take a joke, isn't it?
I hope I flashed my legs at him. Yeah.
Oh God, I've seen statey legs, so I don't think so.
Anyway, it's red on one side and white on the other.
Oh dear.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, look at them.
Oh dear. You'd have them phoning police and saying, God, there's this weird bloke flashing his bits at me.
His bits, his legs.
Oh, yeah, your bits. Your varicose vein legs.
Listen, I know not tripod, lad, but come on, I'm not going to flash my bits out.
Oh, dear me. Oh, dear. Nobody's saying out in chat. Has everybody gone to sleep? Say something. Let me know you're still there.
They're just laughing at what I'm saying. Laughing at me, not with me.
Oh. Nobody's saying anything.
No, I'm dead. Chat's gone dead.
Yeah. We're still live.
Yeah, it's still alive. I didn't. What? Did what? I did. Didn't.
Did what?
I don't know, Kate.
Well, I ain't got no. Just last message I've got is 8 pics.
We don't really watch a lot of soaps. They're pretty much the same old dribble. Yeah, exactly. That's Gordo.
Oh, Bella's, yeah. So I'm not
live chat.
on YouTube. I'm not getting. We don't really watch a lot of soaps. They are pretty much the same old drivel. Darwin says hello. Bella's put phone call. Kate says hello. Yeah.
What? Don't go.
Let me just refresh this page on YouTube.
I said, I said something after 25.
So I've just refreshed it because the last message I've got on YouTube, it just says hey pics. So
Well, Kate said,
I know I've looked on StreamYard and I've read the comments,
God, yeah.
but the YouTube hasn't caught up with it. I mean, last time we had this problem, it all went tits up and it cut off, didn't it? So standing naked in a park for a long time will get you locked up, Chris. Bella's back. So I'm reading these off of StreamYard because yeah, that's what I'm saying, Kate. On the YouTube thing, it's just circling and the chat's not coming up again. Last time we had this, all of a sudden, it went tits up.
I don't say that.
So
we'll say good night. We'll call it a night.
Oh dear. What is talking about? While you were gone, Chris says something about it. We're going to go out and do what were it?
Long exposure with Phoebe Farm.
Yeah, long exposure, and I says what?
Lights.
Yeah.
But A, it's got a bit cold, and B, there's no freaking cars to do car trail lights anyway.
Plus, that's what's it for his going dogging, Bella. It's still not. It's just going round in a circle.
I'll turn that page off
and do pop art chat.
I'll turn that page off.
What?
Your YouTube page.
Yeah.
And start another one up, and then it should come up then.
Yeah, hang on a minute. I'm still here. I'm just trying to rectify it. Because you see, I'm not on YouTube. I'm not getting the chat thing.
Yeah, we got Wacky Woo.
Hiya, Wakey.
What?
It's not coming up. It says site can't be reached.
Darwin Digital says it's okay here. Chris has misunderstood the instructions I gave him to long exposure.
Oh dear me.
I read it right, loud and clear, mate. You know what I mean?
It's just the YouTube one that's playing up.
Normal, no, we're not.
Yeah, well, same as I say, I'm still on StreamYard, but sometimes there's a time delay on the comments on StreamYard and the comments on YouTube. So I have the YouTube channel up as well. We never know. You speak for yourself.
Good evening.
That it's fine, Amjad. I mean, if there's, very well there, if there's anything ever bothering you, just, come here to vent it, whatever. So the YouTube thing, I don't know whether it's YouTube that's playing up or whatever.
The view's going up again.
No, it's just going round in a circle. As Chris calls it, the circle of death. So I don't know whether it's YouTube playing up or what, but StreamYard seems to be fine. And same as I say, I mean, Amjad, there's many a time I sit here and have a rant, and I mean, like the thing when I'm in the buggy and whatever, you know what I mean? It's disgusting how ignorant people can be. Go on then.
What?
He says I need to vent something.
Oh, there we go. Come on, Ricky. Let it out, lad.
Oh dear.
Go on.
That curry the other night is playing havoc. That's why we don't have curry. It plays havoc with me and all. So
Visit the toilet every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you could have done with that.
Oh, what?
Yes. You'll have to tell him to put you some in a takeout thing. Chris has been the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm not going into too much detail, but Chris
Well, all I've got to say is I've had to have 2 powders, and it's not cocaine.
Yeah. So yes, Chris has an opposite problem. He has to.
Basically, I had to have some. What is it? Hedgehog slices, so I could do a hedgehog poo.
We're back to normal now, but I'm watching adverts now. Even Nell ran out of room. Kate says night, Callum. So yeah, so I don't have any problems in that department. Sometimes I'm the total opposite, but Chris has always been the same, having problems. So we went to the doctors and they gave him some powders. No, that was Movicol that Callum used to have.
What coal? What?
That Movicol.
The powders.
Yeah, the powder. Well, they're basically powders to loosen it. If you know what I mean. Tracy says night, Callum.
Good night, Tracy.
Had so much.
Say night all in the chat, and then you don't have to.
Yeah.
After that.
Wakey says night, Callum.
Good night, Wakey.
Say night, everybody. John Boy. John Boy.
John Boy.
Yeah, Walton's. It's like saying good night, so and so. Good night, so and so. We're back to normal now with chat.
Social distancing.
But yeah, I think Chris could do with a Vindaloo.
Vindaloo.
You see what Bella's put? Ain't it funny how often our conversations get round to crap? all the lack thereof, Bella.
You remember that chocolate bar that what that was?
Shite.
Yeah. It was cold.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Chocolate bar.
We were lockdown warning. Do not call the police about suspicious people in your neighbourhood. These are your neighbours without makeup, hair colouring, and hair extensions. Oh dear. You see, I'm like that, Kate. But yeah, Chris has the totally opposite. But the thing that Chris were referring to was he picked this newspaper up one day. I forget what newspaper it were. So they'd invented. Bella says, yeah, and you've been looking through my window. Go now. And they'd invented this chocolate bar called Shite, but it was spelled Shyte. Tell him to get lacto. I used to have that, didn't I?
Tastes like crap. I do the powders doing all.
So when I first had my weight loss surgery, obviously you're eating less, so I started having them sort of problems. She gave me lactulose. Is it lactulose?
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, but
I don't think that touched me though, did it? Lactulose.
the doctor. Scientists have discovered another deadly pathogen they are calling the peekaboo virus. Doctors are sending anyone with peekaboo straight to ICU. ICU.
That's the picture of the chocolate. Well, that's all about that chocolate.
Yeah, that's the article about the chocolate bar.
Canadian chocolate bar.
So anyway, they've even gone as far as you see what? I have a jar of gravy additive called Shito. Tastes lovely. But they've even gone as far as giving him like they're not suppositories, like mini enemas in case he sort of does get to the point where but he same as Chris says, yeah, you're out of milk, sugar, and the bread is on the tin. But yes, but same as Chris says, he only tried one, but same as he says, there's no worse if you're having problems going to the toilet, having something shoved up there.
I ain't having one of them.
Yeah, but yes, well, they're not suppositories, they're like mini enemas. They're like in a plastic tube, and you. I'm not going into too much detail, but yeah, bend over, sir. Oh dear. But yeah, same as Chris says, there's no worse than, because it hurts your bum, doesn't it, if you know what I mean? So, no worse than having things put up there that shouldn't be up there when you can't go to the toilet. Marigolds or not, you're on your own. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, it depends on what they're going to shove up there. If you could see what they were going to use, you would shit yourself. If you are planning to split with the wife, girlfriend, husband, make sure you book the taxi for 8 p.m. on a Thursday night when it looks like the rest of the street are glad to see the back of them. I've seen that joke somewhere. I've seen what Gordo's put.
Yeah, eventually, Gordo.
What goes up must come down, so to speak. Yeah, but it's a matter of how much pain it causes in between.
Yes.
It going down and coming out.
It goes down and then stops.
Oh dear. And gets a bit blocked.
You can't get plunger on it.
Yeah, it's like a plug hole, isn't it? Well, it is a bit like a plug hole. Oh dear, sorry to be so direct. But yes, I see what Wakey's put. Beetroot helps. Oh dear.
Oh, beetroot, but not with some concoctions up for me.
But I mean, it's like, same as I say, I'm exactly opposite sometimes. I mean, I suffer with IBS, so anybody that suffers with IBS knows what I'm talking about. 1 minute you can't stop going, and then another minute you can't go. So it's like swings and roundabouts. It's making Kate feel sick.
So we're not having any supper tonight. It's okay.
Oh dear. It's just as I'm off to bed, guys. Lord only knows what I'll dream about after this conversation. See you later, Bella. Well, you know what it's like when you come into my chats, Bella. We can talk about all sorts. Make him a beetroot and prune flan in an oatmeal pastry case.
No. Don't do prunes.
But you know what I keep telling him, don't you? Because you see, when I have pancakes, I have I have some banana on it.
I fancy a banana.
bananas are the highest thing in protein. So eat a banana.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it's, you know, he has baked beans and things like that. Get some syrup of figs down your neck. So yeah.
Foster's is a good clear out.
What?
Foster's.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, and then it goes other way again.
But yeah, you know, there is nothing more higher in protein than bananas.
That's going crazy now. We're talking about food.
So I says to him, I says, even if it's like a banana every other day, you know, it's not hard to force down you. You know what I mean? If that don't get you moving, I don't know what will.
I need some.
You're an atomic bomb.
It's like that anyway. My house is on fire after I've done one.
Oh dear. After syrup of figs, you go to the bog and it's like a flock of starlings.
Okay, we have coffees every day.
But yeah, same as I say, Chris has always, I mean, Callum's had that problem right from being a kid and all, so he takes after his dad, but not so much nowadays. But, you know, I used to get calls from when he were at nursery, and when he were at school, he were doubled over, he were crying. And it like led to psychological problems because he, when he couldn't go, he were in a lot of pain. So then he was stopping himself from going. Yes, please. So for a long time, he were having psychological problems because he meshed the two together and thought, well, if I have a poo, it's going to hurt me. So Callum were on them parties.
God, do you remember that time when he got it covered everywhere?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that were fun days.
But anyway, same as I say, when he were only a baby, and he were having a lot of problems there. So the doctor prescribed him these Movicol powders, which are the paediatric version of what Chris has. So she says, start off at 1, and then next day you give him 2, and so forth, and like build it up to a maximum of 8 powders. So
12.
no, I think it were 8.
No, 12.
Anyway, we got to about 6 in for it. You know, we sort of gradually built it up to about 6. Chris gets out of bed one morning, goes into his bedroom. I'm not kidding you, it was plastered everywhere. It was on walls and everywhere. Yeah, it did the trick, but it was just like it was. Yeah, it was everywhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so Chris got the biggest shock of his life when he went into his room that morning. It was, some as I say, it were everywhere. So it gave him the clear out that he needed, but you know, it was like an atomic bomb had gone off in his room. So so from that point on, the paediatricians used to prescribe them to him regular.
Yeah. It's all right now, though, isn't it?
But yeah, he hadn't had them for years now. So he's sort of come full circle. You know, is okay now. It's just the big child has the problem now. Yeah. So yeah.
You did this morning, God blimey.
But anyway, same as I say, Chris is the only one with the problem now. So yeah, and it's even worse than worse. You You'd know if you were having a baby, trust me.
Jesus, isn't it like, oh dear.
Oh dear. Sorry, I'm just putting some bloke in a pub once raced past us to the toilet clutching his guts. He hit everywhere in the bog bar besides the bar inside the bowl. Ooh.
Chicken and chips.
His brothers are having doner kebab wraps.
No wrong with doner kebab.
Only for delivery, I think, Kate. I think they only doing delivery. I think Just Eat are still delivering. Domino's Pizzas are still delivering. So no, I mean they've not opened them, but they only like doing deliveries. Yeah. I mean it's same as I've said. I mean we don't takeaways very often. So hey up.
Come on, you. Feeding time at the zoo.
You see, me and Chris like Chinese, but Callum don't. So, you know, if we were to order a Chinese, we'd have to get Callum something else, you know what I mean?
That's one thing we're having soon because we haven't done on in years.
You know.
Literally years.
So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm putting some hand cream on. It says you do know what kebab meat is. Lips, ears and arseholes.
Who said that? Wacky.
Yeah. But
it don't look like lips, ears and arseholes, does it?
Gordo says I love Chinese. Mind you, I love all food. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing around here as well, Richard. You've got to pay when you order it. So basically they can just knock on your door, leave it on your doorstep, and that's it. So but yeah, I think I don't know whether our McDonald's is open, but I know they were on about reopening some of the McDonald's, but just for deliveries, not even drive-through, I don't think. So yeah, that's what I've just been using. That's a number 7. So was in the news that cash will fade out costs of this. But you see, same as I say, you know, I mean, when they say wherever possible, it like when you're at supermarket, wherever possible, use your card. But not everybody's got bank account. You know, old people just mainly use cash, don't they? If you know what I mean. So it's not always possible to, you know, to use a card. Can't be liver, bacon, onions, gravy, and mashed tatties. Ugh. Nah, bacon, onions, gravy, mashed tatties, yeah, but not the liver. Not the liver bit. So you see what I mean about not taking any notice? You know, them sort of people you have to ignore. You know, then that's a bit...
What's the meaning of a bit so lally?
Yeah. I'm having you committed in morning.
That's what we're planning.
Oh dear. Sure as a sandwich, short of a picnic. But you see, I don't like liver. I mean, that's supposed to be rich in iron, you know what I mean? But no, it's like chewing rubber. But I couldn't eat liver. You see, she says, "Have you made her coffee yet, Pixie?" No, he's too busy messing about, Kate. Now you see what I've got. Now, yeah, now you see what I have to put up with. So, you know, it's been overcooked if it tastes like rubber. But yeah, I mean, it's like, same as I say, when you're pregnant and, you know, when your iron drops a little bit, you know, get some liver down you. And I'd say, well, I used to say to him, well, I'd sooner me iron below than eat that crap. Oh, tripe. Oh, that's another form of rubber, but why? Oh, I mean, my grandma used to eat all sorts, oxtail, tripe. She used to eat liver and, I mean, half of stuff she used to eat, it used to turn my stomach.
I mean, I think my granddad, I think he had tripe on bread cakes.
It's inside her. It's inside her a calf's stomach, isn't it?
I tried
like white floppy stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, even look at a tripe turns my stomach. You know, let alone taste it. Ugh. Only thing good that when I used to go to my grandma, she used to toast tea cakes on an open fire with old-fashioned. Now you see, we only buy normal bacon because Chris ain't fond of smoked bacon. Now I could take it or leave it. You know, I could either, you know, eat smoked bacon or ordinary bacon. You know, either or. Got me some oxtail soup in the cupboard. Yeah, but we talking about proper oxtail. But yeah, some as I say, the only thing that I used to enjoy about going to my grandma's was, some as I say, she used to have these tea cakes, and she got old-fashioned like three-pronged fork and put it on fork and do it on open fire. You know what I mean? Like I used to have, that the only thing I could eat when I went to my grandma's. What do you think goes into dog food? Richard said my dad used to think he was a top chef. I wouldn't have given it to the dog. Oh dear. Oh yes, she used to have tongue as well. Yeah, my grandma used to do her own tongue. She used to buy an actual tongue and boil it and slice it. But yeah, same as I say, some of the things that my grandma used to eat.
Yeah,
but that's what the older generation were brought up on, you know what I mean? Tripe and tongue and oxtail and dripping. Yeah.
That were it, dripping.
Yeah, my grandma used to do her own dripping.
Yeah, that were it.
Yeah, my grandma used to with brown jelly at bottom. And then she used to say, "Oh God, that looks gross, Grandma." She says, "That's best part on it, the brown jelly at bottom." Can't beat a bit of tongue. And Wakey's put, that's why Jeanette married Pixie Gordo. She saw him licking his own eyebrows.
are kind of special.
But yeah, some as I say, my grandma even used to do her own dripping, and you know, to me it looked revolting because it's fat with this brown jelly underneath it. Yeah, there were no grub about back then, so it was eat it or starve. So yeah, same as I say, you know, my grandma used to say, "Oh, that's best bit about dripping is brown jelly." Are you kidding me? But when you're a kid, you know, you think everything's gross, don't you? You know what I mean? You know, there were no such thing as tumble dryers or automatic washing machines or even like fridge freezers. I can remember my grandma having like a mesh thing with like a marble slab in bottom, and that were her fridge. You know, there were no such things as you know, you know, there were no such things as automatic washers, fridge freezers, tumble dryers, or anything. In, you know, my grandma's tumble dryer were a mangle. Tuesday nights was always stew or meat and tatty pie. Rest of the week was chips and egg or jam and bread. Steak pudding made in, yeah, she used to do that and all, and tie it up with string. Hey up, Kate, I can actually remember when I were a kid having a bath in front of open fire in a tin bath, and there were no you know, the house that we lived in hadn't got a boiler. We hadn't got a toilet. I mean, a bathroom. Toilet were up yard, and there were, you know, it were like my mum had to boil hot water for a bath. Oh, rabbit.
Oh, Bugs Bunny.
But I mean, I can always remember as well, because see, Richard says his mum used to stick him in the sink. But you see, we got like a long tin bath, and me and my sister, I was sat at one end and she'd be sat at other. But the water didn't half go cold because it were a tin bath, and that's why my mum used to put the tin bath in front of fire, so to sort of keep it warm a little bit longer.
Hey, Richard, you know, when you had a bath, and your mum used to save water and what pots after.
Oh, we took a bath at the bottom of the basement steps in a tub, used an outhouse, no electric oil. Yeah, well, same as I say, I mean, I'm 58 this year, but we're like, we thought when my dad built a bungalow, and all the houses that we lived in at the time were being condemned because obviously they were all like, you know, centuries old. There were no bathrooms in them. There were no running hot water. You know, so basically, when my dad had built this bungalow, to have an actual bathroom and a toilet separate, we thought we were, you know, we thought we were millionaires. And actually a telephone and a colour TV, you know, we thought we'd won lottery. We're like winning lottery. So, you know, I'll just give you sort of some idea. My mum were born just as the war started. So basically, you know, but same as I say, when this house we lived in, there were no running hot water. There were no, you know, running hot water. There were no boiler. There were no bathroom. And his toilet were up the yard. So when we used to go to bed at night, we got a chamber pot under bed. woman up the street used to do that with her lad Darwin. He got a bit fed up of it by the time he was 16. Oh dear. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'm just put. Can you imagine me and Jean Slater dancing to Gangnam Style? But yeah, you know, I mean, even those sort of, you know, when we, as I say, when we moved into this bungalow, you know, yeah, I had to share a room still with my sister. But at the time, I mean, when we lived in that house, there were me, my sister, and my brother all in the same room because the house were freezing. So yeah, so we thought it were luxurious that we'd actually got a separate bedroom. You know, we've got a bathroom with hot running water and a toilet separate to his bathroom, and then not long after that, we even had a telephone and a colour television. You know, we thought, you know, we thought it would dip, that we got all these luxuries, you know, being used to sort of having to go up yard to toilet, having no running water and having to have a bath in a tin bath in front of open fire. So yeah, you know, it were a big shock to the system to actually realise that you got hot water coming out at tap. So yeah, you know, but can you imagine, same as I said to Chris, can you imagine during the war years, everything being on ration? You know what I mean? You know, it were a luxury to have meat. It were a luxury for women that to have stockings and things like that. Things that we take for granted nowadays. You know, back then was a luxury. So yeah, you know, I mean, it just, because I mean, it's like this lockdown, you know, things that you take for granted, you know, it's so, you know, just being able to walk out through your front door and go for a drive or go for a walk without restrictions, you know, it's become the normal now for people to stay in their houses, only go out for a walk once a day. Yeah. Only person that could afford stockings in our street was the bank robber 2 doors down.
Where do you get them from?
Oh dear. Yeah, and they used to have horse and cart with milk straight from a church, you know, straight from a one of these metal chain things. So yeah, I mean, when you think about it, nowadays we've got it easy compared to his grandparents and some of his parents. My mum was born on the cellar floor when the Woodpecker pub got blown up. She lived underground till she was 5 nearly and lived on trout. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, Kate. You know, nowadays you've got kids moaning if internet goes down, and they've got computers, they've got computer games, they've got mobile phones and everything. Can you imagine them being brought up in that era? You know what I mean? And you know, telephones, and they were, yeah, the iceman bringing the ice to your house. Well, look, this is it. Same as I say, my grandma, you know, we've got automatic washing machines now. My grandma used to do hers in sink. Yeah, she got like an electric spinner, but she still used to have to go out in the yard and put them through a wringer. Kids get things way too. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if they, can you imagine, like, such as Callum being born in that era, they won't know what had hit them. You see, and this is what I'm, you know, I'm saying, Kate, you know, the things that we take for granted nowadays, you know, we've got it easy compared to as grandparents. My mum still had a twin tub. But you see, my mum used to, I mean, even when we moved into bungalow, she still used a twin tub. Straight out of washer into spin a bit, but she used to pour some like clear water, obviously to clean them, you know, and pipe over its sink to drain all water off. Yeah, there's a mangle in Mum's basement. Okay, then see you later, Amjad.
See you, Amjad.
But I'll see you on Friday. See you later. But yeah, you know, I mean, I can still remember my mum, you know, when we thought that were some at Ark having a twin tub. You know what I mean? And like, we were a family of 5, and when it were wash day, it used to take my mum all day, like literally, to do a wash. Oh, a bomb did land in my nan's, but it never went off. Oh dear. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's so, you know, like, we think nothing, you know, a chucking washer on, it does it all thing, and then basically either put it in tumble dryer or you hang it out online. But what I'm saying is, when my mum used to do a wash, a family of 5, it like literally used to take her all day to clear all dirty washing up. We don't want to know what happened. But you know, it's same as I say, we don't know that we're born nowadays, you know what I mean? We all, you know, all the luxuries. I mean, same as I said to Chris, I said, can you imagine if we were still living in them times? I mean, with me having arthritis, I couldn't wash things out by hand, and having to turn the mangle and things like that. She still has a rack in her kitchen. She won't part with it. But you see, this is the problem with a lot of the older generation. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, they're still sort of, you see, I mean, even my mum, I mean, she was in her 70s when she passed away, but she couldn't understand the workings of a mobile phone. She had a mobile phone, but it was just one of these bog standard $9.99 things, you know, no picture messages, no nothing, because she couldn't even understand how to text, even though I'd run through it, you know, 1,000,001 times with her. You know what I mean? She says, all I need it for, she says, is if I'm out and somebody needs me, so long as I can receive or make calls, that's all I'm bothered about. You know what I mean? Basically, that were it. You know, she didn't go for none of this. You know, it's got to have internet or Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or whatever. You know, my mum never had internet in her place because she wouldn't have known how to use it anyway. But you know what I mean? It's that's the difference in even my mum's generation. I mean, she, you know, same as I say, she didn't know nothing about these newfangled mobile phones. She never had internet and nothing. Yeah. Oh dear. I mean, phone calls I've had. There's something wrong. This thing, you know, all my channels has all gone haywire on telly, and you know what do they expect us to do? We can't, unless we're physically there and can see what's up. You know, it could be Where's Gubby standing on top of telly and she still wouldn't understand. You know what I mean? You know, the same as Chris says, how can you, you know, how can you explain to somebody what's wrong with it if you're not physically there to see what's wrong with it? You know, and
you ready to have a video call with you?
What do I press? What do I press?
That green thing that's flashing.
Yeah. I mean, some as I say, the amount of times, Chris will tell you, I must have gone through it 1,000,001 times. I mean, even simple texting, you know, you do this and you do that, and you and then next day she said, well, I forgot what you told me. Cosmo Small Piece would have had a seizure with the internet porn. But yeah, same as I say, my mum never had internet. You know, she never had, you know, she just had like telly with Freeview on it. She never had no, you know, Sky or BT or Virgin or whatever. Richard said my kids ring me at work to tell me Wi-Fi's not working. What the hell am I supposed to do? But you see, this is what we used to say when my mum used to ring us up. And she says, I've lost such and such a channel. And I've lost such and such a channel. What should I do? And I say, Chris, my mum wants to talk to you. But he often used to say, well, why she rings us, I don't know, because how am I supposed to know what's wrong with it?
Dad used to live just up the road from her.
You know, and how am I supposed to fix it when I'm not like physically there and I can't see what's up with it?
Yeah, I know I would got to her life, but come on.
You know what I mean? It's hard to fathom, you know, that none of the older generation, and even now, still now, a lot of the older generation don't bother with Wi-Fi or internet or you see what Kate's put? Tried to use their PC years ago. We thought he had to put the mouse up against the screen like a remote.
Oh, so that's how touch screen works then, isn't it?
But yeah, I mean, it's all right us laughing about it nowadays. But I mean, because we understand all this lot. But you imagine a person in the 70s or 80s trying to, you know, fathom how to use, how to use like a PC or a laptop or, you know, same as I say, my mum didn't use internet anyway. And like if she needed out looking up, she used to say, get on your internet and just have a look what, you know. She used to get me to do it anyway. She'd ring up and she'd say, can you just get on the internet and, you know.
You used to get to print out directions when we were on holiday.
I think it was when she, you see, yeah, I think they went to Derbyshire Miners at Skegness.
Oh, right.
And she would go in with a sister, and I had to do all this print out as, you know, what they got there, what rooms they did, and prices and everything, and I had to print it all out. So yeah, I mean, like when we first had a colour television, me and my sister were remote control. You had to get up and turn it over manually. Yeah, and I've often said that to Chris. Says, well, you think, you know, in about 15, 20 years time, all newfangled things that's coming out, and we thinking, well, we thought it were hard to fathom, you know, internet and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and all this, that and other. But you imagine things that in 15, 20 years time. So yeah. Yeah. But hey ho, they, you know, it's same as I say, we probably be like that when we're in our 60s and 70s, and Callum's, you know, married and got kids of his own, and they're bringing all these newfangled things out, and say, Callum, ring Callum up and say, Callum, how do we use this? Or, you know.
Can't you text me?
Oh dear. Right, I've been going 2 hours. It's 11:10 now. I'm starting to lose my voice because I'm rattling on that much. So yeah, I can remember that. So I'll see you all again on Friday. I'm forgetting what day it is. You know, we'll be talking about probably the good old days then, because it is 75 years on Friday since VE Day. So we'll reminisce a little bit more on Friday. So I will see you all again Friday evening, 9 p.m. on the dot, and we'll reminisce a little bit more. So night, everyone.
Night all.